3.
And that is
Hello,
why...
everybody, and welcome to Quest and Chaos. We are the Chaos Agents, or almost all of us are here tonight. And tonight, we are still playing Dungeons and Dragons. We are down one Bo C. Williams, but we are still here, and we are going to find out what happens in the forest.
Yeah, Bo's a little under the weather, and we need your good vibes, everybody.
Yeah, send
us
all
all
the good
your
vibes in the chat
sure.
so that he feels better.
We miss him for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, no, he actually came on briefly and was like, guys, I can't. And we were like, go, rest.
Yeah. Not all of us are lucky to have like in-house support system. He's like, he's super lucky now.
Yeah, seriously. Warren and I are both like super jealous because we don't have significant others to take care of us if we get under the weather.
When I get under the weather, I just sit here and sulk, man. I drink myself into a stupor. I just like eventually find my way out of it. But you know, good vibes as well as good thoughts going in his direction as we play tonight. And I don't know. Maybe we kill him off. We don't have to worry about this anymore.
Let's try to avoid killing Remy, maybe.
Something tells me Bo would love
to kill off a character if they're not here.
Something tells me I might be able to get behind this plan.
What again?
All right. So step 1, Gordon Biersch.
Cheers.
Oh, nice.
Hey, that happened.
Thank you, guys. Drink your water. Drink your coffee. Drink your soda.
Drink your Biersch-like substances.
Yes.
It was Biersch.
Get Bierscht. Get Bierscht.
That's a great tagline.
Say it like Mike Myers in So I Married an Axe Murderer. We're not going to talk movies.
I need to watch.
We did that for 20 minutes before we came on live.
Yeah, so it was last minute change, getting everything set over, and Warren and Aaron just going.
And I'm holding back.
All right then. So
movie talk.
Last week we actually just talked and answered questions. It was really fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I was like, wait a second, are we getting into recaps already? This is crazy.
Crazy.
You guys know the drill, but you guys are on, right? It's Nord Games in the chat. 20% off when you use the code Chaotic20. That is still going on. So podcast listeners, you can still go to nordgamesllc.com/3.html and use that code and you get 20% off. You can also get 15% off if you want it by using Chaotic 15. But I don't think you want to. When you can put it in Chaotic 20 and get 20% off.
I mean, 20 is better than 15.
Yes. And I believe there are still codes on our website right now that you could go to our merch store from Christmas and get a discount.
Even further back than that, it was from Black Friday.
Yeah, you know.
It was in the lead up to Christmas. I remember this.
It's the Quest and Time Capsule sale.
I think it's Foxy might be the code at checkout. I don't remember, but I know
Thomas doesn't know how to code, and eventually he's just gonna like hard code that everything's free in the store. He's like, it's gonna be like that until I figure out how to undo what I did. Sorry.
Yes.
I just want to see everyone enter in all the codes we've ever given out. Is it this one? No.
They all might work. Who knows? Thank you guys for joining us. We are still going to do this. We're on Saltmarsh. So last session that we played Saltmarsh, or the Chaos Agents, or whatever this is called.
That thing.
Uzo and Ruckus explored Saltmarsh, took a trip down to the haunted house, met a couple of interesting characters.
To the tourist attraction?
Yeah, the tourist attraction.
Briefly had schizophrenia.
Yeah, that was fun.
You guys totally missed Bilber as well, who is your gnome wizard that hangs around there. You two actors may not even know who Bilber is.
I think they do.
Yeah,
I was biting my tongue because I'm like, I'm not there, but where's Bilber?
This is all going over my head. What the hell?
You don't know Bilber?
After you guys were done with Saltmarsh, we continued to play Saltmarsh.
Oh.
And that was when
Yeah.
Mitch McTortle and Bilber Rutabaga was his
Got
last
it.
name.
Yes. Yep.
Rhubarb?
Bilber Rutabaga.
And those two came in. One was the Tempest cleric, and the other was a illusion wizard or some sort of wizard. I don't remember what kind he was.
It's a scared wizard who wanted to be way in the back.
That's just Nick's characters.
It is true. In our home game, he plays a wizard that wants to be in the back.
Because I mean, that's basically Silvano. Flint is the one exception, but Flint is also like a rifleman, so him being far away is a good idea.
Yeah. And I play a warlock, so we just keep taking turns on who's the furthest away from combat.
Wonderful.
All right. So let's see. So let's talk about bits. So Tomago Toro coming in with 1,000 bits for you guys right there. And
Yay!
then
Sir. Thank you very much.
I will say you guys have 4 left over, so you are at 6 already tonight.
Swimming in it.
You may need them, you might not need them. We will see going forward. I am adjusting the scenario a bit, but it's still going to play out. So we'll see what happens when we get there. So Ruckus and Uzo, after they had got done investigating the haunted house, communicating with weird people down there, the artificer and the air weirdo.
The Ervatar and also part-time bartender.
And the artificer
moonshine.
who gave him a
man walking.
Who gave him a book, essentially an almanac of sorts.
I like to think Ruckus drunkenly released deep secrets of frustration to the bartender, but no one remembers, and that boy doesn't care.
It could not possibly care less.
Yeah, he had moonshine swiftly after to forget.
Oh yeah. So then you guys returned back to the tavern where you and all of the animals gathered around a table and scared off many of the locals.
Oh yeah.
Until you went upstairs to hotbox the animals.
Oh yeah.
And pass out.
Man, we are good at this character development thing.
And Remy and Andraste took a journey out into the forest. They traveled for several hours outside of Salt Marsh, made it to the edge of a swamp where something was made aware of their presence, and then they backtracked and moved around and hiked a bit until they found a place to set up camp and talk about stuff.
Yeah.
It was
after killing a boar. We killed a boar and ate it.
Yes, you killed a boar, you ate it. You disturbed a squirrel.
And Winthrop came flying down at it to scare the shit out of it. It was great.
Little did they know that squirrel was a red dragon, disguised, polymorphed, and is now angry.
Well, we're dead. Cool.
So we are going to pick it up in the woods, in the forest.
As we're walking back? Or
Someone, I don't know if Aaron and Warren, you guys want to take turns rolling, but let's roll some initiative.
Oh my God.
Okay. Oh, for those two.
All the animals are out.
You guys are rolling initiative for Remy. Andraste, please roll initiative.
It's like, wait, what? What's going on? His initiative is +9.
That's right. Wait, am I rolling for him?
Oh, are you gonna be in a roll? Oh, and hold on. Let me see what's.
Did I roll 3?
I rolled a 26. There you go, Remy.
First natural one of the day, Thomas.
Thanks.
Oh, there it is. Straight to the luck deck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I see we begin as we mean to go on.
Oh
So,
man, my shoes weren't tied.
Just to lay out this scenario, Remy and Bo.
Remy and Bo.
Remy and Bo and Andraste and Tiana are in the woods in their pack, and then me and Aaron are with the animals heading back towards the town, right? Like we're already at the town.
You're in town. It is late. You guys are occupied.
Okay.
That's a word.
I gotta remember which animals were out.
No, there was a bear out.
It was
There was a hyena.
yes, giant
Nymeria was
weasel.
out. So the dire wolf.
Direwolf. I thought that the bear might have been out. The black bear.
Yes.
Yes.
So
That's right.
The giant weasel.
I drew the perfect card.
Uh-oh.
Actually,
Initiative
this-
order.
Yeah, it is. That 26. I'm going to turn into a 1.
Cool. He'll go right after me.
Yeah, exactly.
Giant hyena? No, just a badger.
Yes, and the badger.
You had
Alright,
6
oh.
animals out, man.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah.
6, dude.
Oh, okay, giant hyena.
And then what was the tiny one?
Just a badger? Was it a regular badger?
I think it was
No,
a
it
badger.
was
Giant
A
weasel.
Giant badger, giant weasel.
Giant badger. Oh, okay, cool.
Was
Apologize for this.
the boar wasn't out? No.
I don't know the boar.
Oh.
Norman.
The boar was out.
The
'cause
boar
you
was
wanted
out.
to-
I wanted him to talk to the other boar and find out that Remy had killed him again.
Literally, the other boar had no idea what killed him. He was aware of the elf, and then the halfling dropped on him and stabbed him through the brainstem. He never saw it coming.
See,
mean,
peacefully.
These boars,
Literally, there was no way that he could have seen that.
these boar
Okay.
talk, man. They know.
I wrote
He had,
every
like,
animal.
5 seconds between, oh, hey, there's a wood elf. I should probably gore her to death, to, oh, it's dark.
They're out there trying to live their best life, and you guys are just
Yeah,
out there
and we're out
slaughtering
here
boar.
living ours. Andraste's a hunter, man. That's you're not gonna make her feel guilty about living.
Ruckus
So,
is not living.
Uzo the same.
Andraste, you should have control of both Remy and Andraste.
Okay, and I also
and
have
you-
Remy's sheet open if you need me to control that.
I like these trees.
Actually, I don't know, Warren, do you want to?
I
Oh.
can, or
Ooh.
I don't. Yeah, let me get his. Is his sheet in here?
So
No,
you
she's
should
not
also.
in roll 20. None of our sheets are in roll 20.
I could click on him in Beyond D&D Beyond, couldn't
D&D
I?
Beyond.
Yeah.
Then you gotta-
I couldn't hear you because somebody was shouting something unnecessary and stupid at the same time.
We have an audience.
So you would not believe how awful I rolled for initiative.
Oh, sweet.
I am
Can't be worse
lucky
than
that they
one.
have bonuses and you don't get cards. It was like so initiative was 26 for Remy, and then 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So I moved Remy to 1. It's like
My goodness.
What is the delay between the stream? Actually, I'm gonna say that because I'm like, yeah, should we let the chat decide what Remy's actions are?
No. There's too much of a delay on
Wait.
that, and no.
They could become one mind.
Yeah,
sacrifice himself. That's
and Remy runs away.
No.
all right.
right.
So,
I tried chat.
We
I
should
tried.
do that. We should.
No.
I'm thinking, no. I mean, like a different thing. Like,
If they had some like, okay, yeah, something for planning ahead, like a polling feature of like, okay, what attack should he do next?
Yeah.
so
Switch player.
Andraste,
Uh-huh.
so both you and Remy, you hear a twig snap. And you both turn to look down to the south, where you actually see an elf come around the bushes, really the tree line there, and come around. This elf is 7 feet tall,
My goodness.
slender, imposing. Can you give me a perception check? Both, if you want to.
Remy leans in. Andraste, I did not know that they made them this large.
That is a nat 20, so 29
Nice.
on that perception check.
And
All right.
perception of 0 to Bo, and he's going to roll a 6.
You get a succeed on a saving throw.
Hey, nice.
okay.
All right, so with 29 perception,
Yes, with 29 perception, you notice that the footfalls on this are way heavier than someone who looks that thin.
I'm gonna stand up and like scoop up my shield from where it was beside me and just have my hand on my sword
Remy notices Andraste taking up sort of an aggressive position. Is this something that I should be worried about as well? And he puts his hand on the hilt of Kumara.
Potentially, yes. This person is not what she seems. She? Do they present as
It
female?
is a she. Yes, it is a female, very tall. Oh, you seem to have made your way into my forest.
I wasn't aware that forests had ownership, but
Warren.
Andraste.
We apologize if we are intruding. It was not our intent.
So you will be leaving then?
Well, that was the intent in the morning, yes.
Right. Okay. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
As she walks around to the side, sort of closer.
I'm watching her.
Interesting meat you have there. Is it a small child over there?
No, it's
Remy looks around.
I'm not taking my eyes off of her, although I'm watching in my periphery to see if there's anyone else, if I catch any movement or anything.
Does Remy get the sense that she's talking about the boar or him?
Him. Well, there are two different subjects, right? Oh, there's meat, and there's a small child.
Yeah.
I'll have you know that I am the captain of the Irregular Phoenix.
So that is actually her initiative. She's just going to distract you. As there is a very large, very ugly creature that approaches. It's a little too large. Let me see.
Yeah.
It's gotta go to the stupid. It is a large creature.
Now it's too skinny.
Now it's too fat.
I mean, that's about right for a large creature, though.
I know. I don't like it. It's gonna be stupid skinny. So this thing like hops out 15 feet from Remy and is going to make an attack.
Great.
On its go, it's actually going to use a tongue attack.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
That is a Remy thing, though. I think that's pretty. That speaks to the character.
I got to keep it down because I don't have access to his character sheet, so I'm going to keep track of his HP manually.
It starts off at 69.
So 24 is going to hit.
Uncanny dodge.
That's not no shield.
For a 24, what would that take me up to? AC, a shield.
So he should have mage armor cast because he just casts it every 8 hours. So that should take him up to 23. Just as an FYI.
Are we all right with that? Because it's at will.
So yeah. Well,
it is at will, and he always does it every 8 hours while he's awake.
So AC would be 23.
Yes.
After shield.
No, before shield.
No, before shield.
There's no way that's before shield.
Yeah, it is because the. All right.
It's 13 plus dex.
Oh, sorry, it's plus dex.
And his
so it's 18.
Oh, I'm looking at
plus
his dex.
His ring is 19.
That was I. That was my mistake too.
So it's 19. AC.
Nice.
And then shield would add a 5, which would basically tie, right?
Yep.
And that wouldn't do anything.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm not going to waste his slot.
All right. So you are hit with this tongue as it reaches out on Remy.
All right. 23 points of damage.
Nope. As Remy is brought to right within 5 feet of this bad guy.
Not a bad guy.
And it is going to do some damage. I'm just going to roll it to speed this up. Ooh. For 10 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, necrotic damage. All right. gets sucked in,
Oh, dear.
propelled closely to him, and yeah, 10 points
And
taken.
then, because you.
Is he
Oh,
able
I'm
to
sorry.
uncanny-
You get to make
is-
You need to get to make a strength saving throw.
Oof.
Oh, so I don't get pulled.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I can automatically succeed on this if I don't fail it. So it's a +1.
Yeah.
20 plus 1.
Because we have the succeed on a saving throw
Yeah.
card.
Yes.
I saw the confused look on your face, Thomas.
19.
All right.
Unnatural 19.
Okay. So you do make it. You do take the damage, but you are not pulled.
Is
Yeah.
he able to uncanny dodge the damage?
Yes.
Uncanny dodges the damage.
So that'll take it down to 5 damage. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
You kept me in suspense. That was great.
60. All right, that helps. 64.
I'm doing a little bit of stuff here. I wasn't quite ready for all of this to happen so quickly.
We're moving so fast.
Next up is Andraste.
I'm
There's a large frog-like creature and a super tall.
super tall elf.
Yeah.
Does she look like any variant of elf that I am familiar with? Is she a high elf or a wood elf or?
I mean, with your perception roll earlier, it looks like a fake elf.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna look at her and just grab my holy symbol and say, you know, we could have solved this peacefully. You really messed with the wrong people. And let me see. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna Radiance of the Dawn.
All right. Is that a save?
Yes. That is a DC 17 con save.
All right, hold on. Con. Nope. Nope. Both fail.
Excellent. Plus 9. That is 18 points of damage to both of them.
18.
Mm-hmm. And that's on the low side because I got min damage on one of those.
All right.
And then I am also going to turn and throw out a hand near Remy and cast Spiritual Weapon behind the frog.
Is
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Radiance of the Dawn is not a spell.
Radiance of the Dawn is not a spell. It is a channel divinity, and Spiritual Weapon is a bonus action.
Okay.
Voice.
For a moment, I thought I was trying to do 2 actions and going, wait, no.
I think trying to figure out how we did this in the past. I think it was.
It was a badger.
A Mac badger.
I need something that stands out. All right, today it'll be it's tiny little dragon.
Cute. And it's gonna make a spell melee attack of 19 on that frog thing.
Yeah, that hits.
Excellent. And that is 1d8 plus 5. 12 points of damage.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm going to hold my ground. Do I want to do that? Not. Did I sense anything else in the forest, or would I need to make a perception check?
So you did not hear this this creature until it was like right up on you.
Mm-hmm.
It is very stealthy for being so large. If you want to make another perception check to see if any other people are around.
Another nat 20 on that.
Nice.
Sweet.
You hear the sounds of the forest.
Okay, so it's just the 4 of us.
Yeah. So I mean, your hearing is so good. You are hearing things out there, but it sounds natural.
Okay.
advantage on a saving throw.
Cool.
You have succeed and advantage.
Neat. And I'm gonna run and like tuck myself up behind this tree so I can get some cover from the unnatural elf thing.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, neat! You have dynamic lighting going.
I do.
I
and you
just
have
realized that. It's so
and
cool.
For the audience, I have the dynamic lighting set up so that you are illuminated so that everyone can see.
I love it. All right, so yeah, I'm tucked behind this tree to give myself some cover from the elf creature thing, and that's my turn.
All right, Remy.
Yep. So what Remy does is when she did that damage, did it look like it hurt this elf thing?
Yes.
Okay. So what he's gonna do is put the hood up, right? Because that increases his stealth chance, but that's not an action or anything.
I think it is.
On the equipment?
I think. Let me double check.
Cloak of Elven Kind.
Yeah,
Pulling the hood up requires an action. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
That's why he usually tries to do it before we get into initiative.
Does sending out Winthorpe I would imagine just like takes off from his shoulder as soon as it begins. I wouldn't need to tell it.
So Winthorpe can go and give you the help action.
Yeah.
Would this help action benefit me on the elven woman?
I'm gonna say it's gonna help you on melee attacks.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I then am going to Eldritch Blast the toad.
All right.
It is plus charisma, which is +4. So roll 1d20 +4.
His is +8 on his sheet. Eldritch Blast is it's +8 to hit.
But that is a natural one.
That's
I
a
have
natural
his
one.
sheet open as
Yeah,
well.
it is
damn.
+8. So you get a card, but I get to re-roll that, right?
Halfling.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fuck. What is the card?
This is a new deck.
Is it a person takes an irrational dislike to us?
Nat
It is.
20.
Nice.
Nat
Love it
20.
when I love it when that happens.
So I'm gonna double my 2d20 on this toad guy.
2d10.
2d10.
So 4d10.
Ooh.
You receive maximum amount of healing from any one source.
Wait, I get to choose whether I double or do 4d10.
Just roll 4d10.
4d10. All right. 24 points of damage to this thing.
Nice.
And then as a bonus action, he's going to use Misty Step to get around this tree and hide.
And then
Bonus
so
action.
Misty Step is a bonus action.
Misty Step is a bonus action.
So he can't also bonus action
Yeah, so
hide.
he cannot hide. He can't hide to
5,
get
10,
advantage.
15, 20, 25, 30. 1 second. Up to 30 feet. Okay.
I mean, he could just hide over here behind this tree and just run to get there and then bonus action hide without spending the spell slot.
Yes, you could totally go there and hide.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Boom. Bonus action hide.
All right. Hide check.
It's a +13. Jesus God.
For me?
Yeah. With advantage.
Roll 1d20 +13.
+13.
30.
Jesus. All right.
Remy is the knight.
All right. So then we are going to go to the next. Next. I'm using this combat tracker, D&D Beyond. Speaking of which, D&D Beyond is an excellent sponsor. We thank them for all of the content that they give us. We're horrible at getting through our announcements in this quarantine.
I mean, they're hard to all remember when we're stuck in the same situation over and over again.
Remy, can you give me a perception check.
What?
Yes.
16.
Also, Remy should be able to see in there because he has witch sight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everywhere that's not blocked by line of sight, yes.
Mm.
The Banderhob, as Remy is hiding behind the bush, the Banderhob also hides. And
If it moves, it gets an attack of opportunity, right? From Andraste's spiritual weapon.
No,
no.
spiritual weapons don't get attacks of opportunity.
So it walks around and sees Remy hiding,
What?
and it is going to make.
Weak. Wait, did it perceive Remy? Don't you have to perceive it to hide? He got a 30 for hiding.
You walked over there. He walked within sight of it, and it was also stealthing, and it rolled well.
When I
So
fought
it,
him, yeah,
so
I could
it's
walk
actually going to
around.
get advantage on this attack because
Oh,
it hid. All right, it is going to make a bite attack against you on with advantage. Yeesh, that's a natural 1, but at least the 17 plus 8 is going to hit.
17 plus 8 makes 15. I've got a 19.
25.
25 is
to
not
hit.
going to help. Yeah.
And with that, it's going to take some damage. This is way more damage than I thought it did.
That's a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage. I'm out of D6s.
That's a mean.
Whoa, 16, 17, 21 points, 26 points of damage. And you can probably uncanny dodge that.
Yes.
yeah,
okay.
because it's the top of the round.
Yep.
Make a.
So 26 and half is 13.
Yes.
Okay.
And you are now grappled as it wraps around you.
All right. Not awful, but yeah.
No. So you're grappled. It is now.
My bits.
Good to meet you, sir.
This is why I try to never miss a stream. I don't want to let you guys role play me.
All right. So this thing is it's in the dark because no one can see it.
Well, the flaming blade, we can see each other now, right? Andraste's sword is like
Yeah.
Okay. So sweet. All right.
All right. So this thing walks over here, and at this point, Andraste, you see it. So many things to move.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah. So you see this thing. It is an 8-feet monstrosity of just like this hunchback, disgusting, like bone and pustules and everything. It is gross. And
It sounds gross.
Does it look like anything I might be familiar with, having spent a lot of time in the forest, if it's like a forest spirit of some variety?
It actually is not. It is not native to the forest.
Okay.
And it is going to, with its speed of 40, run up and bite and claw you.
Okay.
It is going to roll a 2. And then the 2 claws coming in. For frick's sake. 15 and 17.
Neither of those hit me because I made sure to grab my shield on the way up.
So that was a 2, a 7, and a 9. That was
None of those hit me.
as it is just screeching at you, angry that you hit it, frankly.
I mean, fair enough, but also you started the fight, bitch.
It's your go.
Would I say that this is undead?
It is not undead.
Okay.
It's you have definitely seen and heard of forest hags. This is the largest of the hag family.
Oh boy, my favorite.
Does not mean it's the most powerful, but just the largest.
Pretty good sized. Do I feel like if I were to move, I would take an attack of opportunity from her?
If you were to leave it space, absolutely.
Okay, I wasn't. It's hard to tell sometimes on Roll20 whether I'm actually in its threatened space.
You are engaged with it.
Cool. Let me see. What do I want to do? I want to cast Word of Radiance, the cantrip, which is a con save of 17.
All right. Amy's dice are horrible.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh, of course, Amy's rolled them. That's why. Yeah, total miss.
Excellent. Then I do 9 points of damage to it, which is, as the name would suggest, radiant damage.
All right.
And then I'm going to make another spell attack with the spiritual weapon.
On the Bender Hob.
Yes. 1d 20 plus 9. So 27 to hit.
Jeez, yeah, that hits.
I'm not gonna complain. Oh my god, trying to scroll through all of these things on my computer is frustrating. Okay.
Can't wait till we're back in person. I
Me
really
too.
can't.
It's gonna be so nice.
I miss the feel of rolling the dice and the sound of the music.
I don't miss
I
filling out
know.
the levels in advance.
What?
Oh my god, max damage 13.
Nice.
13 points of damage on the Bander Hob or whatever.
Bandersnatch.
This is an interesting fight. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, from a CR perspective.
Interesting. And I'm what do I want to do?
You can attack the toad with the
I already did.
okay.
I got nothing.
Well,
Bottom. We're almost at the bottom of the lineup, so reactions are going to reset in a second. You know what? I'm going to. She's just gonna run and catch up with me. So there's no point. She's faster than I am, which isn't common. So I'm just gonna like stay put and have my shield up, holy symbol in one hand, shield in the other, and just like watch her carefully.
all right.
Like mechanically it doesn't do anything, but I'm also not running.
I like it.
Remy is grappled.
Yep.
So you can still attack, but I believe you have disadvantage on attacks.
So
Maybe not.
if I used Misty Step, would that free me?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So essentially, because Misty Step is a bonus action, Remy is going to Misty Step 5, 10, 15, 20.
I mean, theoretically, because grapple does not impose disadvantage on an attack, he could have
Right.
Winthrop fly in, give him the help action, attack with the sneak attack damage, and then Misty Step and get out of there. Just throwing that
If
out there as a
yeah, for
possibility.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
I
you could definitely do
were
that.
to theoretically send Winthrop to the hotel to fly and get the others.
It's too far away. You guys are like
Now
4
you're
hours away.
Hours, yeah.
Shit. Okay.
You
Even
guys are
so-
too far away to help us. We're on our own.
Even by
Also,
giant
I mean-
hyena.
Nope.
I will say this: Remy, and Andraste have done significant damage to their Banderhop. It is looking pretty awful.
Yeah.
Like,
And
especially
especially
for
with
a
that thing,
CR5 monster in itself is like,
So,
you guys.
it's also rolling like shit. So let's be fair
Wow.
there.
Okay.
so what Remy's going to do is get Winthrop in to help.
Yeah.
And Booming Blade,
Hmm.
and then Misty Step out
All right.
to over here.
And you just hear like Kumara, like, oh, I got a boner now.
God damn it.
It's like, no. What would Remy say? Oh, up close and personal, you like it, eh? And as he pulls Kumara out, he Misty steps away. So now I roll attack with
Make the
make an
attack roll
attack.
first.
1D.
Let's do this in order.
1d20 plus what? Let me see. With
8
that.
or
For
no?
Booming Blade, it doesn't have a plus DC in here.
It's an attack,
Right.
whatever his attack is. So it's
It'll be his rapier. It's plus.
it's
It's,
gonna
it's
be
plus 10.
plus 10. Yeah. Okay.
he's probably gonna hit.
It's broken. We've established
That hits.
this.
Yeah.
So now Booming Blade 2d8 on top of what? The rapier.
So it's the
So
what's it, 3d6 for sneak attack because he has the
2d8,
help
yeah.
action.
2d8 plus 3d6.
2d8 plus 3d6. Yeah, Remy,
Plus.
broken.
Plus 6, I believe.
2d8
Mhm.
plus 6.
Yep.
And then what else?
That's it. So it's
Only
3d6
2d8 plus 6.
3d8 sorry 2d8
2d8
plus 3d6 plus 6. A lot of dice going on. This is
2d8.
why he has Winthorpe.
Plus
And this is why dice is
6
dice.
plus 6. All right, let's see what that does. There we go.
Wow, even with 3 of
19.
them being ones,
Wow.
Yeah.
this thing goes down.
Excellent.
Boom. And he points to the big one. And now it's your turn.
So yeah, so you don't have to Misty Step away if you don't want to.
Oh,
You can Misty Step right to it if you did.
So Misty Step would be that bonus action.
Instead, you can bonus action hide because you're like 25 feet away from her.
No,
You
I'm
would-
not gonna do that.
Wouldn't you get advantage like just dropping out of the sky? Maybe.
You'd have to climb a tree.
No, not if you teleport, right? Don't you have it?
You can, yeah, you can Misty
Misty
Step above it and slash it, and you have advantage on the attack because you're unseen next time.
That's my vote and would make me happy, but that's
Seconded.
do whatever,
All
do
right,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
Misty
The
Step
yeah.
above it into the tree.
All right.
Motherfucker!
Caca, motherfucker. No, that's not how you pronounce that.
we are well over a half hour into the stream. I think that's enough.
That's right. And Kumara talked about its boner before already. So
Yep. I was more thinking about demonetization on YouTube, but
it is a hard steel shaft.
I got a boner for murder.
damn it, Thomas.
All right.
Oh, I love you.
These
You're
are
awesome.
just facts. Yeah, I don't know. These are just facts.
That is his turn.
Yes.
All right. Bannerhob's dead. You hear a wail of anger out of this thing as it reaches down to you, Andraste, to grab you. In a loving hug.
Sure.
Filled with hatred.
Yes.
Plot twist.
19. hit?
I am going to use a warding flare to impose disadvantage on that.
26 to hit. Well, 19 is still the lowest.
Yeah, still the lowest. All right. Then I mean, yeah, she
Yes.
grabs me.
So she reaches in and grabs you and picks you up off of the ground.
That's my favorite.
20. 8, 31, 4, 30. Wow, 36 points of damage.
Good
Really?
Lord.
Holy
Wow.
shit, man.
That's over half my hit points.
Oh my god.
What's stupid about that is they all, in the stat block they put here's the average and then it's this many dice plus whatever.
Mhm.
I rolled exactly what the average was. Could have just said
Fair
30.
enough.
And did no arithmetic. That I might need to change my strategy on things.
Strategy here.
So you are grappled at this point, and it's actually crushing you.
I figured as much.
And it is your go.
Are you guys okay with me using the receive max healing from any one source card?
Absolutely.
Because I remember having that.
Absolutely.
I feel like we'll be fine after this. Yeah, go for it.
I don't think anybody's there to second. No.
I mean, Warren is kind of playing Remy at the
I
moment.
second it. Go ahead and use it.
Brilliant. Okay, then I'm going to use that and like reach like because I can still do things while I'm grappled. So I'm gonna reach into my pocket, pull out the potion of continuous heal, and down it.
This is like a movie scene where it's like reaching into the pouch, and then all of a sudden, like the potion is almost at your lips, and then Bandersnatch gives a tight. You go, ah! Damn it!
Hey, ow! So that is my bonus action.
No, that was a regular or greater.
That was the special one.
Oh wow! Okay.
I don't have any of the others, so I'm using the special one that will give me 8 points of healing on every turn.
Okay. You are a cleric.
Yes, but also I would like to kill this thing and not waste my spell slots on myself.
Okay.
This is a sentence that has been uttered by me more than once. I don't.
Actually, give me a perception check.
Yeah, you might not. It might not be sticking around for that many rounds to make it worth using this thing up.
18.
So it's taken some damage. It's got a lot of life left in it. You feel it crushing you.
Drink it.
Yeah. Okay. Drink it.
Drink it. Yeah.
Like if there is a chance that it can get one more attack like that off, it will kill me, and that's not good. I don't remember. Do I take the?
What does it give you in terms of healing right now in one shot?
Well, that's what I was about to ask, Warren. If you would not cut me off.
Oh, sorry.
It's a D8 every round.
Yes.
So you get 8 points of healing right now, and then at the beginning of your round you get 8 points.
Okay.
Or 1d8.
1d8. Well, but it'll be 8 because it's max healing from any one source. That's how we've played it every time we've used it with this potion.
Okay.
Do you remember Kubla Khan? Because I remember Kubla Khan.
No, I do not remember Kubla Khan.
Well, do you have any spells that will give you like 16?
Health?
No. This is perfect. This is fine.
Oh, okay.
I don't like it when the DM says that. Okay, so I imagine I'm like, move all up in this business here.
Yep.
All right. One of the things that you can, well, let me see.
You can try and break the grapple by either athleticsing your way out or squirming your way out with acrobatics.
Believe it or not, athletics is my better score on that. I'll try it. $19.
Nice.
I have any cards? I don't. So, oh wait, do I have a thing goes missing? No.
I thought.
So you break free of this grasp and land on your feet on the ground.
Okay. And that was my bonus action and my action. I'm going to run because I will take the attack of opportunity just to get away from that.
All right. It is going to take that attack of opportunity.
Okay.
I should be using different dice. I don't know what my problem
Why
is.
do you use Amy's dice? You know better.
Because you're curious if it's going to be better, but
I know. It's like, no, I can fix these. If I just keep working at it, I can change them. They will become better, and they will no longer beat me. This is, sorry, I got dark.
You poor fool.
You're in an abusive relationship with Amy's dice.
Exactly. That is it's a 10 because I get +8.
But that's not going to hit me.
Oh, that's gross.
She went to hug you again as you went to run away.
And I like dodge out of the way, even like toss my shield up to bat one of her arms away and just run into the darkness.
All right, so you get away. Remy, you are successfully hidden above this person in the trees.
And Winthorpe kind of flies in, basically the same sort of attack. Instead, Remy's dropping down dagger first from the tree into this thing's back.
Dagger or rapier?
Whichever is.
Rapier is a +10 to attack.
Whichever is Kumara with.
Kumara.
Yeah.
Yep,
with booming blade.
Yeah, it's the rapier.
All right. So.
I'm sorry.
Roll 1d.
Do not say dagger. You will do less damage.
26 to hit.
Nice.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. Roll. 2d8 plus 3d6 plus 6.
Yep. And I mean, you had advantage on that attack. You could see if you got a nat 20.
Or I'd probably get a nat 1. I'm not going to gamble it. I'm not going to gamble it.
Aw.
Bo would.
3-4 points of damage as
Holy
Remy
maker.
basically comes down into this
Wow.
thing's spine and uses like the weight of himself to like slide down its back to hit the floor in its, I guess, in its space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Pick on, and he turns to her and goes, "Why don't you pick on someone your own size?"
Way to use Deja's line from last night.
Oh shit. That's probably where I got it from, subconsciously.
So this thing just screams out and it's like, I will eat your child.
And Remy looks around.
And it
It's
is
rather
going to
too
hug.
pointy to eat. You can try. Have fun with that.
So it reaches in, and I'm going to use roll 20 for this. These dice are awful.
This is your first roll in roll 20. Of course, it's going
Right.
to give you something good. Yeah.
26.
You can roll really well against Remy.
wait,
consistently hitting him.
wait.
You can't shield 26.
No, I was going to Misty Step afterwards because another spell slot.
But you didn't.
I didn't. Yeah.
I'm going to use a warding flare to impose disadvantage because it's the top of the round.
Uh,
I totally did not. Fair dues. Nice. That does not.
Just this blast of light blasts up in front of her.
As Remy's playing the game of bobbing through the legs.
yeah. So yeah, just almost like catches your leg, and then Remy is able to jump out, like use its hand to jump off and do a backflip and land out of its reach, where it would have done 96 points of damage. 36, 9d6.
No,
okay.
I know that's still a lot of d6s.
That's a lot of damage.
It's awful. Like clerics. Andraste, that means that you're up.
Now I am up, and I immediately take 8 points of healing from the potion. Let me see.
Spiritual weapon is out still.
No,
right?
I stop telling me how to play my character. I know what I'm doing.
All right.
I can't move my spiritual weapon, but I'm going to use my bonus action to move it the 20 feet up to the creature.
You should have access to it.
Do I? I can't see it is the problem. Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay. It's moved.
There we go. 1d20 plus, what is that? 9 to hit? Spells. Sorry. Yes, plus 9. 21 to hit.
One hits.
1d8 plus 5 is 6 points of damage, but free damage.
All right.
And then I am going to. What do I want to do? You know what? Why not? I am going to Scorching Ray at 4th level, which gives me
several
5 rays of fire.
All right.
So I'm just going to copy and paste this macro because I'm going to need that. Oof. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay. And we can't re-roll that. 1, you get your card friend. Does the 13 hit? I don't know what her AC is.
13 does not hit.
Okay. Does a 19 hit?
It does, however, minus 1d6 after making a skill or attack roll
Okay.
that I just got.
Do you want me
Yes.
to roll that 1d6?
On the 19, yes.
All right. So that's 15.
So that one misses.
Okay. So the 23 and the 28 both hit, and that does 4d6 fire damage. Yes. Double check. Yes. That is 4. 9 points of damage. Good Lord. I rolled 3 ones. What in the maker's name?
I mean, still good damage.
How do you want to do this?
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So after like tucking myself behind the tree, I peek back out, move the spiritual weapon up, and it takes a slash at her. And she does that scream thing as she's still like somewhat blinded after trying to go for Remy. And I'm furious. So I just like reach behind me and pull fire out of the air and just fling it. I'm so angry that 3 of them swing wide, but 2 of them strike true, and the last one just goes like right through the middle of her head and burrows out the back, exploding her head, and I'm not close enough to get hit by any of the shrapnel.
All over Remy.
I think he's kind of like bobbing through the legs, so he's
Yeah.
kind of pelting him from below. Yeah.
Dexterity check for Remy
Ah,
as this thing.
Plus 5.
So
is that a saving throw? Dexterity saving throw? Because I feel like that's a lot
it
higher.
is. Advantage or succeed?
It's like it's like a plus 10 for his saving throws.
Yeah.
Really? Wow, that's a 12. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine with this thing falling on him.
You have advantage.
Let's give him advantage. Why
All
not?
right.
You think we're gonna get any more combat tonight? I hope not.
I don't think so.
Please.
17.
All right. So you almost get Remy almost gets smashed by this large hag, but managed to roll his way out. And at the last minute, like reach in and grab his hat and pull it before it lands on the ground.
Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
Right.
Puts it on his head. And that is the end of this combat.
Well, that was a waste of a perfectly good potion. And like come out from behind, rolling my shoulders and just ow.
What in the devil is this thing? Prodding it with Kumara.
It's a forest hag, I think.
It is so it is not native to the forest.
Oh no, it's some sort of hag.
Would you like to investigate it, perhaps?
Yes.
He can. I'd rather use like survival survival maybe.
Yeah, survival.
I'm feeling good about
so
my
bad at nature.
investigations given my poor roll. Oh wow. Really bad still. 16
on survival.
All right. So now that you get a much better look at this thing, it is obviously a twisted and corrupt being. There are like small skulls that seem to grow out of its back and its hunch, and its head, while disfigured and gross, actually kind of looks like a baby's head. It is thinking back, like you heard tales because you did live close to that mountain, that there were mountain hags called honest hags that live in the mountains and feed on children and turn children into leather goods.
Well, that explains why she was going after you. She wasn't intelligent enough to realize that a halfling isn't a child.
Oh dear, I feel like they should have warned us about these things in town. All the children running around.
This isn't native to this area. This is native to mountains. And I mean, look around.
He looks around. Are we in the mountains?
There's a hill nearby, but that's it.
I don't know what this thing is doing here. It shouldn't be here.
And Remy walks back to the camp and puts his stuff back in whatever his satchel is. Like, that is more than enough camping for me. I prefer the fixations of civilization. But maybe we could try this again some other time, as he kind of shuffles through.
And Andres just sort of smiles to herself and, yeah, I'd rather not. And begins scooping up her things and puts out the fire, very carefully making sure that there's no like ember left.
And Remy kind of sends Winthorpe a little bit ahead to kind of scout the path back and say, "Hey, give us a notification if you come across anything in the path that might seem hostile."
So with dark vision and devil's sight, you guys make your way back south towards Saltmarsh.
All right, and when we get there, I want to see what areas are still open. Like if it's just the tavern that is open, or if I run across like Mitch or anyone else that I know of who is pretty powerful, I'm going to be like, "There's a problem in the woods. We ran across one. There might be more. Y'all should have a look because you guys are at least as strong as I am."
All right. So you guys walk for a few hours and eventually do make it back to town, where it's roughly 10 p.m. or so. So the tavern is definitely the thing that is open right now. And as you walk in, there's only a few people in the tavern, and you get a strange look from the bartender and Barden, who is also behind there. Remy and Andraste.
Andraste, yes.
You are back so soon. I thought you were spending the couple of days out in the woods.
So did I, but we ran across something out in the woods that was neither man nor beast.
Centaur?
Nice. No, it was an honest hag. Are you familiar? Have you heard of these things before?
I have not, but a hag, you say?
Yes, and one that isn't native to any forest that I've ever been aware of. They're much more native to mountains, and they feed on children. We killed the one that we came across and the frog-like creature that she had with her, but it might not be the worst idea to have a better look around the island and make sure that there aren't any more. The two of us were able to handle it pretty handily, and like rubbing a cracked rib.
I suppose if I'd used Roll20, it would have been different.
We were able to handle it rather handily with the two of us, but we got fortunate in quite a few ways. So I think that it would be advantageous if I never caught what their adventuring party name was. The one that Mitch is part of.
No, the Last Onion Brigade.
I have no room to throw stones. We are the Foxy Irregulars, and that's every bit as weird.
Foxy Irregulars is a good name, actually.
Yes, I helped.
Onion Brigade.
I helped with the name, but Last Onion Brigade is also pretty. Anyway, if we were able to join forces, it might not be the worst idea to scour the island and make absolutely sure that there are no more hags of this sort out there.
What time is it?
He said it's about 10.
About 10
p.m. a.m. p.m.
Yeah. PM.
Speaking of adventuring parties, where are the other two members of the Irregulars?
Yeah. They are up in their rooms with a bunch of ants.
That's why you gave us that look. Got it.
Yeah. We had a full house before they came in.
I'm really sorry.
Did they run away your business?
Yes. Yes,
That's
they did.
Interesting. We're usually pretty good at attracting business. As you can see, if you're ever in Waterdeep, you should come by our tavern, the Irregular Tavern. It's great ale, a great stout, and a great pilsner. Stout. And we also make great octopus and cheese.
To be
great
fair,
performances.
To be fair, Remy, usually when we are attracting people in, it's with all four of us. We rather left Uzo and Ruckus on their own. And we're well aware that they're not the ones who are good at gathering people.
Well, it sounds and smells like they're having a party upstairs. So maybe we'll get to the bottom of this. Sorry about your establishment.
You go on ahead. I'm going to stay down here and have a couple drinks, I think.
Are you all right, Andraste?
I'm fine.
And he looks at the bartender and he mouths,
All
and
right.
he kind of
So,
sneaks up the stairs with his hands back.
so Remy goes off up the stairs, and Barden kind of leans in close to you, Andraste, and goes, "Is there something wrong with that? That's not Remy. What is up? Did somebody? Is that a devil in disguise?
No.
Clearly a fake."
Remy had to deal with some emotional things, and if you know him very well at all, you know that he doesn't handle emotions very well. He's rather immature about them. So he'll be fine. He'll be right as rain, I'm sure, later.
Very well. Here. And he puts an ale down and he grabs one for himself and he sits, pulls up a chair to sit across from you. Whatever you need.
Pull up the bar stool and sit with him. Just thank you. It's been rather a long night.
Yeah, we'll reach out to Emma and the gang tomorrow. If there's something out there, they'll want to go take a look at it.
And I would very much like to go with them to have a look out there. Something like that doesn't belong in these sorts of forests. That's unnatural, and I don't much care for it. The rest of the irregulars can do as they see fit, but we have a little while before the Phoenix comes in.
All right. So you then spend a little while, as long as you wish, hanging out down there. Remy goes up, kicks the door open,
follows the smell of his nose. Oh, I see we're having
my stuff.
Yeah, I see we're having a party in here. Is this my plant stick? Oh, golly good Jenkins.
How about you take over Uzo again and I'll take Remy?
Uzo, so good to see you. I've missed you so much. My good friend, best friend, my only friend. Come here, give me a hug.
Call the flamber. Ruckus calls the flambers and points at, what the hell?
Uzo looks at Remy and Ruckus. Have you been smoking plant stick as well?
Yes, it hasn't been calming down my drunkenness at all. Why are you so friendly at this moment?
I think whatever happened in the forest might have been a traumatic event for him. Is Andraste with you?
Yes, yes, of course. She's downstairs. Where else would she possibly be?
Nice.
You return solo. How
solo?
The room is kind of thick with fog, and like Uzo is petting the black bear as he kind of is laying on it. Yeah. So
Hyena's just kind of in the corner, like legs open, just like back, and just like staring at the ceiling, and just laughing.
God, I love you, Harley.
We've been getting acquainted with the animals here and also helping to bring life to the local establishment. People really love the animals.
That is not at all what I heard. What I heard was that there was a full house downstairs and you brought in a lot of animals and then kicked them all out.
Well, we brought them upstairs. I think we've been pretty considerate, all things considered.
Uzo turns to Ruckus. What?
Listen, if I'm going to have to deal with any of you lot, you're going to have to pass that plant stick over here.
That is the first good idea you've had in a very long time. Please share some with the captain.
All right. Sorry,
I don't like us role playing the person who isn't here, so I'd prefer not.
So you guys eventually you fall asleep. Everybody goes to bed. The animals disappear.
I did want to do one before I went up to bed. So I'm stayed down in the common room through the evening up until about midnight or so, and I've moved from sitting by the bar to sitting next to the fire. There's a fireplace in here?
Certainly.
Cool. And as I'm sitting there, sipping my ale and watching the fire, I reach into my bag of holding and pull out a book and look at it, tipping it side to side, kind of glance to make sure no one's watching, and then toss it into the fire.
Oh, Uzo's never going to be able to know.
and just sit there, chin on my fist, watching the tall halfling burn.
Wow.
Just quietly, contemplatively, and then makes her way makes my way upstairs to my room, closes and locks the door because I have a feeling that they're going to be raucous in the morning and I don't want to deal with it.
And so everybody then retires, eventually falls asleep, goes to bed, as the camera zooms in on the fireplace and the book unburning in its magic. No, I'm kidding. It's totally burning.
What? Excuse me?
Oh man, I would have loved that.
And the at that point, you guys fall asleep, and I think we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back here in 5 minutes to pick this up and go through some of the stuff here in Saltmarsh.
Yeah.
With the three of you, Remy is going to have a hangover and stay in his room.
That sounds good.
All right, so we'll be back in 5 minutes, everybody. Thank you for watching and sticking around. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Quest of Chaos. We're the Chaos Agents. That is a lot weirder when you're not in person and people aren't around.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Fair.
Just the sound of your arms moving
Well,
in the room. That's all.
Who am I doing this for?
He's gone mad.
When I try to imitate, I have to be careful that I don't hit the microphone that's right next to me.
Yeah. Ah, man, the ants are taking the bait. That's all I care about right now. It's driving me insane. All right.
you-
So,
That sounds like the opening line to a song. The ants are taking the bait. It's driving me insane. Like, what genre? Is that a screamo
Country.
genre? It's country. It's country. Okay, sorry. Chaos everywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
the ants are taking the bait. I'm gonna
in.
go on a date.
It's high noon.
Oh God.
It's high noon.
All right, so we're gonna speed through a little bit here. So, Andraste, you in the morning get up and you are greeted by Emma
Mhm.
and Mitch, and they wanted to know everything. You told them what you knew.
Give them all of the details, everything that I know, how this
Oh.
thing is unnatural and doesn't belong here.
And you also microphone.
Thank you.
And so you are very quickly realized that they've got a full crew. You are welcome to join them. It won't matter either way. We will, because we're just gonna narrate a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and join them just because I want to help make sure that whatever this is dealt with.
All right. So
And if it doesn't matter either way, that I'm definitely going to join.
gotcha. Perfect. So you then trek out with Bill Burr, with Emma, Mitch, Ung, and Dalit.
I
And
quickly
also the
realized this is
lizard.
a group that is. I quickly realized this is a group that is every bit as dysfunctional as the irregulars.
You threw me another curveball.
It is yeah, and the lizard folk guy is there as well. It is a very interesting journey. Very interesting journey. And
Are there spice
You-
cookies involved? That's all I want to know.
yes, of course, yeah. I mean, Emma
Brilliant.
basically showed up with them ready to go. It's like, she's like, I have 144 of these. This will get us through lunch.
I have a bag of holding if you need somewhere to put those.
It's like, oh, my bag of holding's full of cookies.
How about you let me help carry the load?
Yeah. So as soon as she gives them to you and you put them away, she pulls out another box and just is like eating as she goes. Handing them out. It's more about handing them out for Emma.
But before we go, I'll make sure to like open the door to the room where the boys are and like slide a box of cookies in and quietly close the door and then head out.
Nice. So you are gone for a full day. I mean, you go and you are out after sunset and eventually come back. You scour the area. You definitely find where the hag was living on the edge of the swamp there in a small hut. You find no other signs of any other dangerous creatures.
Okay.
And eventually you make your way back after the full day of knowing you are very confident the threat is gone.
Okay.
I'll take some samples and yeah, like he does.
And I imagine that we were able to find the body and they were able to examine
Yes.
it and get some information from that. So Dahlin would have gotten some stuff off of that. I'm sure she
Oh, yeah.
fantasized about drowning Ung at least once.
They always do.
Just like shove his head under the swamp water. Shh.
So yeah,
What you
so
dreaming about?
So I'd imagine
He
Dalit
knows.
pulling up the arm and seeing like the rubbery texture and goes, "Oh, this is why it can contract and contort its body. It's so flexible, so malleable. No wonder it can shapeshift like that." Like you said, okay, this is fine. He's taking notes and he's
Yeah.
I will say this as well. Bilber, who is there, has more knowledge and is like, oh, obviously you said it was 7 feet tall. Well, that
Yes,
this
it was-
is clearly used the disguise self spell because it doesn't actually transform the person. So when you said that they looked way heavier than their frame allowed, and they were only 7 feet, obviously it was a magic.
Dalid actually, in trying to stretch the arms and the legs, like rips off an arm by accident. It's like, we'll put this back together in the lab. We'll reassemble and figure out exactly what happened here.
If you can figure out how to get it back to the lab, I'm not helping you carry that.
Old tricks are the best tricks. As he takes out his hand blade, and he starts hacking him.
Okay.
Classic Dalid.
Hashtag chop chop.
Yeah.
He's gonna transport it in pieces. Yeah.
Eventually, you guys all make it back to the haunted house. You take this hag to what you get back to the house after dragging those parts all the way back, and Emma says that is not coming anywhere near the inside of this place.
Aw.
Mom.
Come on.
I'll take it around the back. All right. It doesn't need to come into the front. It won't affect business. We have to study this thing. How did this get here? You don't know. I could stuff it and put it in the front and attract even more business.
Oh, and at that, she's like, yes, absolutely. Make it, give it more fangs. Put like a wolf's mouth in it. She starts going crazy and they're like, yes, scary.
Maybe I should call it a ghost like the original occupants of this place.
And I'm looking around in awe at this place. I've never seen anything that is quite so deliberately scary.
Oh, you went, so you came.
No,
with
I'm with them just because you know I want to see it concluded. I've made friends with Emma because Emma's friendly.
It's like commercially scary, right? You'd probably agree. I feel like
dragging the sack as it thuds down the stairs to his lab, and he's like, "I gotta warn you, don't touch anything, okay? Certain concoctions are brewing. You know, if you were, I've got some things that help grow. Some kits and some chemistry sets. So I don't know. Are you into plants?
Yes, actually, I've been learning herbalism and how to do healing potions and the like.
Interesting. I gave your southern friend a book that I think would help him on his journey. Your travels. Yeah, whatever. Weird, solemn fellow. But there might be something in the lab for you if you find. I try to document my notes, keep them segmented by genre. Pretty. They want to turn this place into a tourist destination. I want to turn this place into a library. So if you find something down here that suits you, please, by all means, take it, share it with the world. Copyright Dalid Jiff.
Of course. And I'd like to go down and have a poke around in the library, see if there's any herbalism recipes that I might find interesting.
Library is strewn parchments of words.
Sure, but I mean, I'm used to chaos. I've lived with these guys for the last few months, so I just like start sorting through things.
Let me know if you need a drink. I'm 14.
Is the book still there? That is the question.
Which book?
So I'm leaving that up to Thomas to see if she pulls anything useful out of it that might help the growth of, a plant or two, or quicken the casting time of a spell. He's essentially been documenting the growth patterns of the forest and the local flora in the area. He's just, noticing patterns and documenting what happens when you take this plant's root and mix it with that one and that kind of shit.
All right. Okay. So, Andraste, give me a survival check.
Fingers crossed.
Seriously. Plus 9. 12?
We've got to succeed on a check, don't we?
Saving throw.
Shit. Okay.
You've got 6 inspo.
Do we want to use to add 6?
Yes.
I'm there.
All right.
Thank you, guys. That's Tamago Tora.
Roll a 1, I swear to God. I did.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
13.
you start looking through, and Dalit starts telling you about plants that are actually very useful. And your mind, you see this illustrated sex book, and just immediately like, oh God, I just got rid of the tall halfling. And Dalit is like, yes, take that one.
Oh, you're into so this is a diagram for
No.
most efficient mating. So if you were looking to get
No.
impregnated, these positions are the most cost benefit analysis, return on investment, yielding result positions. You see
And I
this
mean,
one.
Andraste is flaming bright red.
See, in this position, you kind of let gravity do a lot of the work here. But in this position, well, this one's more for pleasure. That as he's flipping through the pages in front of her,
And she's just like backing up slowly.
no, as he's like kind of like forcing it on her, is like, you're sure you don't want it?
Thank you.
Good.
She's too polite to say no.
Get it out of here, because I strongly suspect that Ung's been coming down here and looking at those pages.
They're like holding it by thumb and fingertip very carefully. Would you happen to have a handkerchief or anything of the like?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna search around in the bag of holding, find like a handkerchief, wrap it around the book, and carefully stick the book in so it doesn't contaminate anything else in there.
I wanted to pop up back to the bar for 1 second, and I'm just cleaning the glass with a rag. Like, better not be talking about my book.
All right. So then eventually, Andraste, you make your way back to town. Everyone else stays down at the house.
I imagine after I have a drink with Emma.
Yes, in the bar, hanging out. You're welcome to spend the night. There are guest rooms.
I think the guys are going to be a little bit too worried about me, so I'll have a drink and then head back.
All right.
While you're having a drink, low rumble shakes the entire place. Minor explosion. It's fine. It's fine.
You know, that's what it sounds like when I cast Fireball. Is that what he's doing down there?
Yeah, he does a lot of different dangerous stuff. We usually just let him live his life, and he lets me tend the bar.
I really hope he never takes out a support for the building.
He never does.
Until he does.
So, all right. So, Warren and Ruckus, Uzo and Ruckus.
I mean, he basically is Warren.
You guys wake up in the same room. There's no animals to be seen, but there's a strange box by the door.
I don't know what we roll for, but I want to notice the box before Ruckus.
All right, just D20. Just both of you, D20 rolls.
Yes. This gets my blood pumping.
Fuck.
You wake. So you wake up, and I will give you this. Warren, you wake. Uzo wakes up and looks around the room like, where are the animals? You see the box, and then you look at Ruckus, and Ruckus is looking at the box and then looks right at you.
Do we athletics to race over to it?
Diversion! And I throw my hand axe into the wall, not at him.
So I see him throw it, and then I dimension door over to it.
I still race. I still run.
Yeah. So you're like, you throw this axe and just Uzo vanishes and like right up and like basically comes up out of the ground holding the box of cookies.
Does he collide with me then?
Yes. And just into the wall, over the box gets crushed.
Why couldn't you just let me have the box?
You fool. We could have shared them.
This is your fault.
We should have
now
fought
they
to
are
the
crumbs. All right, it's only fair that I get to keep the crumbs.
We should at least fight to the death for the crumbs. It's only right.
I say that you go and you fight Emma for the crumbs, since she made this. You should ask her if we both fight for the crumbs. And then I will hold it here securely and wait for you to return with her answer.
I'll just wait until Emma shows up here for no reason, eventually, probably. And I just stare at you.
You guys are like just at this point, both of your hand, you each have a hand on the box, staring at each other.
Baga slides out of my sleeve and slithers onto Ruckus's hand.
I want to try and I show no fear. That's my thing.
You don't even budge?
I want to try and show no fear at all.
And then you know what to do, Baga. And so now Baga is slithering up your arm, down your chest.
What a cute little worm you have.
Around your waist.
Ooh, a belt too.
And is getting close. He's down your left thigh. Let go of the box, Ruckus.
I will die for these cookies.
You heard him, Baga.
And at that point, Baga comes back out up the thing and just gives you a look and shakes its head.
And I look at Baga and go, do it.
It's fair, Baga. I would not do it as well. And I extend my hand to the neck, and Baga comes back over to me. Fine. And while Ruckus is holding the box, I lift it up with my free hand and I dig in and I get a mouthful of crumbs and I shove it in my mouth.
So it's not completely crushed. There are, at least half of them are just in half, and then there's crumbs in there.
So we've got twice the amount of cookies.
Whatever I can get.
Yes.
And I'm just eating them out of spite. Me and Baga are picking at them. Yeah.
Is there anything you guys, the two of you, need to do in town? Or should we speed ahead?
I want to remember something. Is it out of character to remember it if Bo's not here?
Yeah. He looks. Okay. Uzo looks at Ruckus, and I feel like there is something we should be doing right now.
After cookie time. We think after cookie time. Cookie time is cookie time. You don't ruin that. Okay, I'm done. Okay. Yeah, what are we supposed to be doing? Remy's here. He's perfectly passed out. That's fine. It's normal. And Troste, where is she?
Where is... she's probably in her room. But the captain is here. Looks like he's sound asleep. Should we mess with him?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to invent some sort of ink device because I'm marking his face immediately. With gratuitous things.
Ink and a pen or quill on your character sheet.
I don't.
Oh, you bastard. You brilliant bastard.
Because there are such things.
Can I do it in blood, even though that'd be weird and terrible? You can, if you just, like in Naruto, bite the tip of your thumb, you'll have enough to draw a whole symbol, allegedly.
I have a better idea. So I can use prestidigitation to clean things, but I can also use it to dirty things. So I want to imagine a perfect representation of Uzo's magnificence on Remy's face in dirt.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You do that.
Hold on. Check this out. I'm gonna cast jump on Remy.
What?
And just let me finish. If we scare him at some point, not now, we have to remember this. Whenever we want to scare Remy awake, hopefully he jumps straight into the ceiling, and it would be hilarious.
Hilarious if he breaks his neck on the ceiling.
He's not going to do that. We'll bring him back to life, and Droste will do that. She loves doing that.
Don't do that, Ruckus, please. Let's him embarrass himself downstairs when he goes to get his first meal. Let's not have him lay up here with a severed neck.
Oh gods, when Uzo is the voice of reason, it is the apocalypse.
I wish you said that before the casting of Jump.
So luckily, I used Amy's dice, and that's a 3 on Remy's perception check, so he has no idea. So, all right, so you guys, we're just going to speed through. We're going to speed through some of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So the day goes by. Eventually, you hear bells ringing out as You also then hear shouts of ship, and a lot of people start running down towards the docks. And Andraste, at this point, you are just getting back into town as well, and you hear the bells and hear people moving. And you are coming from the south. You are actually overlooking on the cliffside, overlooking down, and you do see the irregular Phoenix with some sails limping into port.
Oh, you beautiful girl. It's been too long.
And it's slowly sails, and it's very, very much like in Pirates of the Caribbean, where it comes up and sinks down next to the docks. It's not all the way down, but definitely not seaworthy. And at that point, you see people like the gangplank coming over, and lots of people running off and like kissing the ground. That they have actually made it out alive.
To be fair, that was not far from my reaction when we finally made it through everything.
I want to say that Uzo and Ruckus kind of like see and hear the bells and then kind of slowly walk towards the dock. So are all of us together at this point?
Yeah, I would have been up on the cliff seeing it, and I would come down toward the dock.
So yeah, so the three of you come down, and you see on the docks a number of individuals moving in. They are met by members of the Saltmarsh community, and immediately you see some of them kind of turn around and point up to you guys as you come around. And you say, there they are now. And you see Clint, you see other people.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
How's Jensen doing?
Jensen, yeah.
So Jensen is being carried off with two individuals as he's walking. He has no prosthetic, just a.
Is McTortle milling around somewhere?
Yes, he is.
I would just kind of like go. So Uzo would run down to the dock and greet them as they came in, shaking hands, patting people, making sure everyone's okay. But then would see McTortle as Clint comes and try to wave him over.
All right. So you catch his eye.
Or I point to McTortle and send Jensen to
Gotcha. Okay. So
is he anything like powerful enough to cast a 7th level spell?
That's a head shake.
Because that's what regeneration is.
He can do something at least.
So okay, so
I don't know if he's higher level than I am, because I don't know how long it's been since the 9 shot.
Mitch,
Sorry,
Mitch
the 9 episode 3 shot.
And they have a conversation. And he kind of, and he looks around, and there's a conversation. You don't hear any of it. Eventually, Mitch turns and looks off into the distance and seems to talk to somebody as he casts sending.
Okay.
And then comes back. And they're then led up into the, so a number of the officers, especially Jensen, is led to the tavern. And they are given rooms.
Uzo would tell them that, hey, thank you. We're so happy. We're so happy you made it. Please go to the tavern, rest yourself. It's been a weary ride. We have sent them notice of your arrival, Clint, and we will start the provisions and the repairs on the boat. We're so happy that you made it. Did you encounter any trouble after we left?
We did not encounter any. I mean, the only trouble is the sea, but eventually we made decent time, I think, for our situation.
I would say that you are early, and you have earned yourself many, many meals at the tavern, my friend. Please, go take your leave, and we will deal with the ship here after we anchor it and tie it off, we will start the repairs.
It's not going anywhere. It's kind of self-anchored at this point.
She's probably going to have to go into dry dock.
We'll have to figure something out.
We leave that to us.
Yeah. So there is. You also still see the chimera down there on a different dock. So that is still out there. It's been moved, but it's still out there, and you see that repairs have been done to the sails and to pieces of the ship as well. So the chimera seems to be in pretty decent shape.
Yeah. I'm gonna look over at Uzo and Ruckus and say, I mean, of course we're gonna have to consult with Remy on this. Where is he, by the way?
Fully unconscious.
He is sleeping off the night before.
Interesting.
He came up and he joined us for some plant stick. Whatever you got up into the forest, it exhausted him quite a bit, because I've never seen the plant stick take this effect on him.
I just look away for a moment. Right. Well, it looks like the Phoenix is going to have to be here for a while to be repaired. We're not going to be able to take her to Boulder's Gate. And now that she has arrived here safely, maybe we take the Chimera and continue on our way to Boulder's Gate and leave her here to be fixed while we go and deal with business in Boulder's Gate and then return.
I highly concur.
I have my qualms about this, but I think we should consult the captain. It sounds like a good plan. We go to a dangerous port, probably under the guise of another flag. Do we think that the Chimera is in good standing at Boulder's Gate?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? But Boulder's Gate is, I mean, Ruckus, you would know this better than I do, but I've heard it's a hellhole, literally.
Yeah, seeing as they've been sending legions of demons after us whenever they get the chance, I'm imagining
Devils.
it's pretty...
I think they're devils, dear.
Right, my bad.
I'm told there's a difference.
Perception checks, everybody.
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
+5 for me.
27 for me.
All right.
17.
Did I roll 2? God, what?
So in fact, all of you sort of are turning, are having this conversation, and you hear, and you turn around and you see Emma, Bilber, and Dalid arrive next to me.
Come on.
It's Bill Burr.
Hello, friends. I call up the cliff.
I just want to do a quick conversation with Dalid and Mitch.
Okay. Uzo nods and he says, Andraste, your friends are here. And he walks onto the ship to survey the damage away from the group.
I'm going to wait and talk to Emma and the group.
Yep. So Mitch comes over and goes, I believe this is to all the non-moving lips. Dalid, this individual, Mr. Jensen here, seems to be missing a part of his leg, and I don't quite have the power to restore it, but perhaps in Baldur's Gate or Waterdeep there's such magics. But until then, I was wondering, Dalid, if you could make something.
A mechanical leg, perhaps.
Make a prosthetic. Yeah, this is I of course I can do this. I teach orphans in Waterdeep how to do this. This is simple work. I can fire it up. Where is this person? I think looking at the shape of this ship, you might need my mechanical expertise around here, but I'll go help your friend first, and then come back and see what we can do with this bucket. You guys sail this thing, huh?
Well, we sailed her before there was a rather large explosion that threw pieces of another ship into Oz.
It was incredible.
It was a mess.
Quick, how did this thing even make it to port? Man, yeah, study that.
A wizard with mending and a lot of prayer.
And at that point, you actually hear like this. There was this. sound. So when it came in, there was this sound of like,
Oh, the pump.
and then and eventually you just see this bugbear stepping out of like the hole in the side of the ship, like just
Holy Cthulhu, what is that thing?
What?
A crewmate.
Need a bed.
Yes, please. This is the Dalit. This is our friend and crew member, Bunny.
Is he gonna eat us?
No.
That's offensive.
Yeah, that is a bit offensive.
I'm saying it.
That I couldn't even strangle you.
That's well very fortuitous for us, good friend.
Ruckus, could you get him back to the tavern and get him somewhere to rest? He looks all in.
I feel like I'm the worst caretaker you could have asked, but yeah, sure. And I pick him up by the neck and I kind of put him over my shoulders.
Do you know how big the bugbear is?
You pick up
Can
Dalit?
Can I try? No, not Dalit. Oh, is it Dalit or the bugbear?
No, it's the bugbear.
Yeah, the bugbear is way bigger than you.
You know how big a bugbear is?
Ruckus give me
I'm
an
gonna
athletic,
try.
but you can totally do this. Give me an
Yes.
athletics check.
Oh,
All right, that's the
please.
20 plus athletics.
I mean, a fireman's carry,
Plus
you could
9.
I went about how you would expect it to go.
That's
So
13.
under any normal circumstance, this would have been no problem, except for you get him up onto your shoulder and your knees just buckle and you down to the ground.
Still hungover.
Dalit
Looks like you partied a little hard last night too, my friend.
looks at Andraste, then McTortle, and then Ruckus. What part of you thought that was a good idea?
Don't judge. And I'm trying to play it off normally and going on my knees
I'm
forward.
just gonna look at Dalit with a straight face and say, "You travel with Ung."
I think a teenager wouldn't have made that mistake, but
You
fair,
would have.
fair. Mr. Bugbear, I don't know your name. Your legs work, right?
His name is Bunny.
Yeah, they do. They work fine. But this is also fun. So I think we keep this going for a little bit further.
You enjoy yourself, bugbear. And then there's like a trail of blood where my knees are going across the ground.
And it goes for about 10 feet before he's like, Ruckus, let me up. And he just stands up and he like goes to pick you up and he's like, ah! As is burning.
I've got 4 C's at least.
Both of you, get your asses to the tavern and get some bloody rest. Go.
I might. And he looks at basically Bunny's arms are probably bulging since he.
Yeah.
I might have some ointment for that. Man, the muscle density on this thing is insane.
Don't take it personally. He refers to everyone as a thing.
So they're all kind of walking away, and like Dalit is just kind of like he's got the eyeglass just come out. And he's,
It's like
yeah.
and while they're doing that, how is the ship sunk? Like, can we go onto the ship and look at things?
You can go onto the ship. It was actually sailed to the inside of the
Nice.
Of the dock, trying to get it as close to the beach as possible. So it's beached.
Okay.
And safe to go on.
All right. I want to go and check my quarters and see if any of the plants are still alive.
So yeah, I mean, it's only been a few days. So they seem to be in pretty decent shape.
Cool. Hey, Uzo,
Yes, as you hear below deck. Yeah.
can I borrow your decanter?
Of course. Give me a moment. And
Thank you.
surveys the damage below deck and comes up and kind of has a visual assessment of it. And he pulls it out and he hands it to Andraste.
You're above me.
Oh.
So I'll go and water the plants and start carrying them, I guess, over to the Chimera, because I guess that's what we're gonna do is take the Chimera.
That was cool.
So he sees Andraste moving the things over as if she's already decided that we're taking the chimeras. I guess we go to the chimera.
Well, so here's my logic on it. Regardless of whether or not we decide to take the chimera and we decide to continue onward to Baldur's Gate, the Phoenix is going to need to be in some sort of dry dock, and I'd prefer to not leave breakables in there if at all possible. So at the very least, I'm moving them so that pots don't get broken.
Good idea.
And I hold up Remy's special plant and say, even this survived.
Oh, come on.
I think he's not going to want to partake of that for a while.
No, but it'll be here when he wants it.
Um,
So
Is-
Uzo,
yeah.
sorry, just backing up a bit. When you went downstairs to look on your cabin, you actually saw, so Stace and Trace were there and they were packing up the last of their stuff.
mm,
They were clearly ready to get out of this ship as quickly as possible. There's still water in sort of the area, so your room isn't great.
but Bryn is kind of, I guess, meets me as I get down there,
Yeah.
and attaches to me. Oh, good to see you as well. And then he looks up to Stace and Trace and says, "So, what will you do now?"
Right now, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna get some real food and get dried off,
But
as everything is just soaked.
yes, that is the very
Immediate.
solution for what you're going to do. But in the longer term, we have plans to set sail from here. I don't know what the timeline is, but I just wanted to know what your plans were. It's not my intention to leave you stranded here, but yeah, a better idea of, now that you are in each other's company, what you have planned would help us in the decision-making process.
Oh, so at this point, Stace kind of just like, it's like I'm gonna go up. So Trace is down with you, and she, you know, I don't think I want to go back to Baldur's Gate. I have no idea what this place is like, but I don't know. If it's better, then I'll stay. If not, then I guess go to Baldur's Gate and maybe go down to, I don't know, somewhere, El Truel or somewhere like that, just to get away.
If you are looking for somewhere more isolated, maybe more of a sanctuary, I was given a book on this island by a very unusual creature. But the creature gave me this sort of geographic almanac, locator map sort of thing. I will keep on my stead because I want to read it. But when I first met you, I asked you if you had any inclination, since you are also an orphan, of where you hail from or where potentially other people like us might inhabit. You had no clue. But Dalit seemed to think that in an island southwest of the continent of Derelind, maybe 100 miles or so, there seems to be an island that stretches east to west where there might be some answers for us. I don't know if my journeys will take me there, but if it gives you some closure, I think your adventure might begin there.
Interesting. Perhaps we could look at this book later tonight.
I would like that very much.
Thank you.
As for this room, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. This ship will probably remain in harbor indefinitely. We can't take it in this condition anywhere. But Andraste and Remy will figure out what we do next. And yeah, you keep us afloat of what your plans are.
Very well. We'll talk tonight, which is in soon.
No rush. Get a full rest. You guys have been through a lot.
So,
yeah.
All right, thank you, Uzo. And she walks off, kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and then keeps moving on. So eventually everybody does get off the ship. You do a very sort of thorough look over the ship. It needs significant hull repairs. That definitely does need either dry dock or just beached and built up.
I'm gonna be gone in 10 seconds. I smell gas. I want to make sure my roommate's cooking.
All right.
Fair.
Yeah. That would
Yeah.
suck if he exploded midstream. I'm dying to know.
I actually smelled something burning at the top, but before we started the stream, which is why I dipped out for a second to be like, is it something that is burning in the house or is it outside the house? But it went away, so whatever it was isn't my problem.
I have a terrible sense of smell. I'm dead. What were you gonna say, Thomas?
Well, just like earlier, Warren's like there were coyotes. There were like a pack of coyotes outside.
I swear to God, the edges of San Francisco are basically Wild Wild West.
With the giant robot spider.
What the hell are we talking about?
Talking about you. What do you want?
Will Smith.
Yeah. Spilled some oil in the oven. Oil's burning off. That's the smell.
Got it.
Nice. All right. So looking over the ship, it is in terrible condition. It is definitely a miracle that it made it this far. But it is in a place, especially with Dalid, with some of the individuals around here, it can eventually be repaired. Probably not up to its purchase condition, but it can be repaired.
I'm low-key hoping that like Dalid will build some amazing contraption on it that like increases the ballast steadiness for better firing accuracy. I don't know.
That does sound like Dalid. Like he would totally fiddle with it while we're in Baldur's Gate.
Does the trajectory line up with a thing? I don't know.
or he's like he polishes the cannonballs because like the aerodynamics allow it to shoot straighter when they're not as you can predict a little bit better the shot when there aren't the variables of like divots and nicks on it. I don't know.
He's gonna rifle the cannon barrels.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then give you like elongated shells.
Ooh, yeah.
Something. I don't know.
I really want to hire him, actually.
He's not getting on that ship.
Damn it!
Because he will essentially be a red shirt, so he's not getting on.
I mean, let's use him while we can.
So eventually everybody heads back to the tavern for a hearty meal. Barden basically is like, this is on the house. This is an amazing circumstances. Let's celebrate and relax. There are rooms for everybody. Again, it is a 3-story place. Some of them do have to share rooms, but they're used to it. They share hammock space under, in the hull of the ship. So they're having their own bed is worthwhile.
Pirates cuddle.
What's that?
Pirates cuddle.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah, they do.
What do you mean? They're
Okay.
good. They're close friends.
I do want to say as night draws on and things like quiet down, I make sure that both Dalid and Ung are not watching and toss the book into the back of the fireplace because no.
Perception check.
Yeah, Dalid would not be cool with that.
Yeah, and Ung is gonna wake up in shock if he rolls well.
I'm gonna roll a straight 20, but I think Dalid's really good at perception.
Both of you.
I was making sure that you're not there.
Okay.
Also, as Ung, I want to change my class, my teaching school.
He does not notice.
Damn it!
Oh man, you guys.
Just wing that damn book in there. 'Cause she's like, I know, I'm not dealing with this.
Another book in the fire.
Never figured on Droste for a book burner, but here
Yeah,
we
right?
are.
So Uzo, you and Stace and Trace actually spend a good while looking through that book, and you definitely are intrigued. give me. What would it be? What would be a memory check? Intelligence,
History,
Intelligence.
memory.
history,
yeah.
history, or intelligence, whichever's higher.
I'll do history because they're both the same.
All right.
God damn it. 20 plus 2. Boop. Oh! Unrecognized command. Syntax error.
Stop typing in bad commands. Jeez.
Can I re-roll that? Inspiration.
Oh, is that?
If
you
you do a full
actually, right?
reroll, we'll be down to 3 inspiration.
Full re-roll.
I feel like
So-
he's forcing my hand, but I respect it, and I still want to give it to him.
Yeah.
We will only have 3 to carry over unless some of the community is really nice.
16.
All right, 16. So, as you're reading through this book, you're discussing, and you see that there are only 2 reasons why people leave this island. One of them is as an exile, being banned from the island. The other is as an ambassador. And there was a moment in Medusa's teachings where you remember somebody calling her ambassador.
Yes.
And that like pops into your mind.
It's starting to make a little bit of sense. Especially that they would send a female out as an ambassador, seeing as how this culture appears to be exclusively matriarchal. She, for everything I know, as he looks to Trace, she was the best person I've known, and a great representative of this culture, if this is true. It says here everyone is conscripted to fight in a unique style. And with the polearm as their primary tool, maybe my ability to use the rod to see came naturally to teach me to use it to defend myself. And he goes through some the lore, the first of us, the Jome, the mother of mothers, and talks about its largest city called Muska, and some of the descriptions of the hillsides of the island is a natural sort of cliffside fortress with really 2 ways in on the east and on the west, which makes it really easily defendable. Yeah. So he's basically just kind of learning and not knowing whether or not this is fiction or documentary, but the memory for Medusa is making it seem more like fact than fiction.
Right. And while you fix your microphone,
Me?
Your microphone's going
Yeah.
weird.
Oh,
Duke Fleeg with 1,000 bits to build up the player stash.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Thank you so much. Is my microphone better, or was it weird? Is it still weird?
It was clicking a bit.
It was just weird.
Okay.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, everything's fine.
just
So I mean, this is like, I mean, you know, for both Stace and Trace, you know, they not knowing where they came from. I mean, was, you know, so Stace was from Watergate, and was a merchant family.
It appears as if when people leave the island, especially ambassadors, they know that they will never return home. So maybe we were born out into the world to either an exile or an ambassador, if this is where we hailed from. But the island this does not give a location The only thing that it says is that every evening at dusk, both of the coastlines throw essentially what amounts to a party and a tiered bonfire in a ritual to call home the ambassadors who have died out in the world. So apparently you can hear it in the sea for miles. So if you get close enough to it at dusk, let the sound of the drums guide you.
And she and Trace actually just kind of looks and goes, but that big of an island, you would see it. Maybe. Darylin, 100 miles south of Darylin.
Several hundred miles south of the southernmost shore of Darylin.
Huh.
Easy. I'd imagine it. You know the map better than I do. I'd imagine it is easy to get lost out there.
And she at that point, she's like, whips out. She made 2 copies, and she's like, I don't remember that at all, and unfurls one copy and hands the other one to you. And she unfurls it, and looking over, you have the Sword Coast on one side. There are some Moonshay Isles in here. A lot of the reef that you guys went through, and then this continent where you are at now. And then way over on the other side of the map, across the giant squid kraken drawing that is in there, is this continent of Darylin. And looking at the southernmost shores and south, there is nothing on the map.
This seems, as he looks to Trace, what some would call the beginnings of an adventure. For some reason, I don't know why, but the blue one has not been wrong yet, and seems like a very learned person. So where he's picked up these materials, I would have to be first-hand account. He doesn't bode well with fairy tales or magic. I think the only thing here that would guide us as a clue is a reference to a tiny volcano on the island. I don't know what is in there or if the volcano itself is the island. But something has to be in here. I feel it very strongly, even if it hasn't been charted on the map. And why hasn't it been charted on the map? Do people not come and go? Is there no commerce on the island?
If there is, they probably trade with, and she looks over Southport.
The world is brand new to me visually, as well as the commerce and the trade routes. I feel defeated, but I leave it up to your assumption. That is probably accurate.
This is something to look into. Something definitely. I don't know. This promise sounds way safer than Baldur's Gate.
And that is why I shared it with you. As much as I would like to go and explore this, the person I am looking for is not there. That much I know. And it is very possible at the end of my journey that I don't make it back at all. I'm not giving you this book, but at least I can set you in the right path to finding, if you're in the position and want to start searching.
Very well, thank you. And at that point, it's late, and she and Stace take their leave. Thank you, Uzo. This is amazing. I hope
Yes.
one day to see you there if that's where you're going.
That would be a dream. And hopefully I will have a +1 with me. All of us can party there under the sun.
Very well. All right. And they take off and they head upstairs because they've been at sea in a soggy bed for a long time.
Yeah, and I guess as they leave the room, I guess Uzo just kind of like straddles the book and just reads more. And it's coming to him in chunks only because reading for him is more symbols than text. So he's having to make sense of the words. Since he can't read words, all the words transpose into things that he makes sense.
Is he down in the common room, or are you in your room? Is that where have you been having this?
I'd assume we're back at the bar now, right? The tavern?
Yeah, at the tavern. There, I mean, if you guys wanted to have gone into the back private room, you could have done it there, or been out at a table in the common room.
Yeah, shares it at a table.
Okay.
Back in the back area, or
in the private room. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys out, both Ruckus and Andraste and a number of the crew out in the main area, see the door open to the back room. Stace and Trace go upstairs, and they leave the door open.
That's odd. We should probably check that VIP door just in case, right, team? Anybody?
Sure.
Slowly backing towards it.
Yeah, and I've already dealt with the probably contaminated book, so I'm gonna join him.
All right. Just as Uzo's putting his book away, they come in.
Like tap on the door with a knuckle.
Oh, Andraste. Ruckus. Okay, yeah. Come on in.
What? I used to be a noble.
So, Stace and Trace don't know what they are going to do on the leg of their next journey. I think their adventure is about done with us, and I don't blame them at all, one bit.
No, I don't either. And they have been through a hellacious experience and back, and not everyone is built for that sort of thing. And this is a good place to be and rest while they make decisions.
Yes, I'm at least happy that we were able to reconnect them, and Remy and his captain, and all of the people off of the ship. Hopefully, Dalit can put something together for Jensen. I don't know if Jensen will be up for joining us again. What do you think?
Even if he comes up with some sort of prosthetic quickly, I don't think that he will be accustomed enough to it to have sea legs, so to speak.
Would he want? Would his heart be in it?
That's the other question. But then
sure, we could persuade him.
But then too, I am not a powerful enough cleric to regrow his leg, and we've had it pointed out to us multiple times that there may be someone like that in Baldur's Gate. So maybe he would want to go with us for that hope.
But also, Dalit did mention he could possibly help him with a prosthetic.
Yes.
I would love to see what that prosthetic looks like and functions.
I would imagine that the prosthetic leg would probably work better than his real one, but I'm not going to share that assumption with him.
I'm hoping.
When we approach Jensen, we let him know that that is a possibility, and we want him to join us because we value him as a friend and also as a crewman, and also we want to see him regenerated, but we completely understand if he needs to stay.
And if he doesn't want to take the chance on Baldur's Gate, waiting until we're heading, because I imagine, and this is of course much longer term thinking, but I would imagine that we would not go from Baldur's Gate directly over to Mage Haven, the other continent. I imagine we wouldn't make it a direct line there. We might stop in at Waterdeep first to make sure everything's all right before we go on that sort of a voyage.
Yes, Remy wants to check on his tavern and collect his rent and his money, I'm sure.
And you want to check in on your orphans and the school and everything that's going on. Whether we like it or not, Waterdeep has become home.
Very true.
So I would imagine then that on our way back from Baldur's Gate, we could pick them up. We could pick Jensen up and take him with us back to Waterdeep, where we know At the very least, Lady Jareth might be able to help us.
That is very true. Azusa kind of rubs his eyes. Yes.
I mean,
I'd
we know
imagine eyes are easy. Legs are easier than eyes. I have no frame of reference, but I would imagine so.
eyes are very complex. Legs, I mean, they're also complex. There's all sorts of muscles and tendons and ligaments and bone and everything. It's complicated, but not quite as complicated as eyes.
They're both
Ruckus.
just hunks of meat when you think about it. What are you going to say?
Question. If Dalit is able to make Jensen an amazing leg, would you sacrifice yours for one like it?
Oh, I would do more than sacrifice. I feel like I am inevitably going to lose some body part during the combat one day, hopefully, and I will replace it with some mechanical device much greater than
That was not a serious suggestion. I wanted to get your opinion, and I regret doing so.
When are you going to learn?
Don't do that. Actually, maybe I should tell Dalit to not do that for you.
For you.
I don't think. No. Let me tell him. Let me talk to them. Oh, team. I'll talk to him. Don't worry.
Oh,
So, the captain is sleeping off his stupor still, or he is in his thoughts. Everyone, I think, needs some time as we contemplate our next move. But I'm growing accustomed to feeling complacent, and I don't like it. This rest is very nice, but I think we should make our decision and make it quickly.
We've only been here a matter of a couple of days. It's no harm to rest for a time after spending weeks and months hurtling from one problem to another.
If the time isn't spent getting stronger, I am really getting antsy.
Then
I think we should.
Then do press ups and chin lifts if you need to spend the time getting stronger.
Well,
I mean, yeah, sure, but I'm also dying to get to Baldur's Gate to tear some heads. Come on.
I am also eager to reunite potentially with someone I've been looking for since I was a child. I will not let it be a distraction to our main focus, but it will be at the front of my mind.
I am of the opinion, Uzo, that if we're not doing things, the personal is important. The personal is very important. We're going to Baldur's Gate to get revenge for Ruckus's family. We hurtled all of this way to save Remy's captain. I do not think it would be a distraction to find the friend that you have sought. And thinking of it as a distraction may well divert your thoughts.
I shared the thought with Remy. I probably should share it with you as well. That my involvement on this ship, having never gone at sea before, was rooted in the hope that I might coincidentally reunite with this person. And now that hope has turned into a near certainty. I have not come this far to not make it a priority for me. But I will not put you all into a situation that will get you killed for the sake of someone you don't know.
Why not? That's what we've been doing for the last several months.
I could not agree more.
We have literally been hurtling from one problem to another, saving people that most of us don't know. And there have been Ruckus died in the service of trying to get Stace back for Trace.
3 times on separate occasions.
And those particular instances did not directly involve a quest for me.
Then
this one I feel an obligation to state, and I know where you stand given our previous feats. But now, having said it, the burden is off of my chest because I've given you the option. So thank you so much.
You are a part of my family, Uzo. And at the end of the day, as I've said to each of you, I will walk through fire to help you get what you need. And possibly set a few of those fires along the way.
Hopefully there are no fires set by you or anyone else, but we are on a quest to free and kill a god. Whatever that means.
Well,
Can't wait.
that is exactly the last thing that I want to do, but we're here.
Things have been crazy, to say the least.
They have.
I feel like every time I'm dragged away from really seeking my vengeance, I get a little frustrated. But at least if it's one of your goals, anyone from the Foxy Irregulars, I will not hesitate to help you complete your goal. Mine can wait because I know they're alive right now.
Well, and now I believe, unless I'm incorrect, our goal is aimed like an arrow at Baldur's Gate. And I still don't know if we're strong enough, especially after dealing with the Castellanter in the tavern, who was significantly stronger than I am even now. So we may be walking into a lion's den, but I mean, Uzo's purpose is across an enormous ocean, yes? It may be better, since we're in the area, to deal with Baldur's Gate now as best as we can.
And sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I don't want to sacrifice anybody's life, but I'm still voting for Baldur's Gate.
And you have put this off repeatedly for us, and I'm not going to let that slide. It's time.
And at that point, Clint actually comes down and, may I?
Come in.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
I've just gotten done speaking with the captain, and we are to ready the Chimera to leave in the morning. We'll be taking that to Baldur's Gate, and a couple of the Onion Brigade crew will be coming along to hire another crew once we are there.
Another crew at Baldur's Gate?
Yes.
For the Chimera, so that we can have ours back on the Phoenix.
Yeah, it is a many day journey to and from Baldur's Gate, and while we are gone, they will be making repairs on this ship, on the Phoenix. Hopefully, when we return, Phoenix is ready to go.
And the captain made this decision?
He did, with some prodding from Mr. Thorne.
I see.
Have we worn out our welcome here?
No. There's no one here that can sail the ship. So we need to sail the ship to go hire people who can sail it once we're gone. That's the plan. Otherwise, that ship just sits here. No one to sail it.
And the ship was not made for that. She was made to be out on the waters.
Yeah.
Mr. Clint, the weapons available to the Chimera, can you give us an assessment of them, their capabilities, their range, in case we find an obstacle that might need some destroying in the way?
I took a walk through the ship, and I will say this: they're definitely more capable than we were on the Phoenix.
Well, it's a bigger ship, more room to be capable.
Okay.
There are
Anything?
more rooms as well.
I still have dibs on the forecastle.
Will we need to train the crew, or is it a quick? If you know how to crew one boat, you know how to crew them all.
Yeah, I've sailed a ship of this type before, and so has the captain.
The captain was on that very ship, in fact.
Okay.
Yep. So the plan is, in the morning, we're gonna take off. We're gonna head to Baldur's Gate. I understand you have business to attend there.
That's a way to phrase it. Yes.
Oh hell yes!
Like I like kick Ruckus with the side of my foot, not like a hard kick, but in his calf to kind of get his attention.
And I say, "Ow!" Still looking.
Whack.
Yeah. It's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you.
Same to you, Mr. Clint.
I guess it's likewise. Sure.
Yeah.
What is the morale of the crew, having given them 24 hours of rest and then back onto the ship? What do you-
I think Bunny deserves the week off at least on the way there. Maybe get him some pina coladas. And
I feel like he was off his feet a bit earlier today, possibly.
That didn't seem very relaxing to either of you, Ruckus.
Maybe it contributed to his PTO. I don't know.
No, I agree. He deserves his rest after everything that he went through.
So he actually stops and says, he manned that pump for hours a day. Without that, we would have sunk a long time ago.
A great addition to the ship and to our crew. We have to reward this in some way. So I think we pool our resources and we get supplies for the Chimera to get us to Baldur's Gate. But then also, Mr. Clint, if you can get us some luxuries here, there are some amazing cookies that are made on this island. And something kind of to bolster. I don't know what bugbears find enjoyment in, but if you could find out and we could surprise him with that on the ship, as a thank you from all of us, I would be very appreciative.
What is the supply situation currently on the Chimera? I should go and take a tally, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of the goods were spoiled due to water. A lot was kept in the barrels.
No, both the Chimera and the Phoenix. I meant
the Phoenix. The
two
Chimera is
legendary creatures.
the Chimera is pretty well stocked. It is obvious, the level of stocks, it is obvious that their captain didn't care about the crew. So we'll have to transfer as many goods over as we can, and should be no problem to reach Baldur's Gate.
All right.
But we'll need full restock there.
And Andraste is going to drain the last of her drink, set her mug down, and say, "Well, if we are to set sail in the morning, I suppose we should go have a look." And she's going to head for the door.
All right.
On it.
Quartermaster. She takes her job seriously, damn it.
Okay. You actually get down there, and there are townsfolk that are currently in the process of moving materials from one ship to the other.
I'm sure they're quite ready to be rid of us at this point. I remarked to Clint.
I don't think so. I think they find it interesting that there's another group like the Onion Brigade, who I've heard about nonstop.
I'm sure. I spent the day scouring the island for problems. I'll tell you the story later, but they are every bit as interesting and dysfunctional as the Foxy Irregulars. So I imagine they're rather. I suppose you're right. They're rather used to us. Or people like us.
Didn't you hear whispers? Apparently they don't like animals on this island.
Did you come down with us?
Oh shit, did I?
I don't know, did you? It's up to you.
I felt like we were all kind of like walking in a group.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to, because Andraste was going down in her position as quartermaster to be like, what supplies can we salvage from the Phoenix? What's currently on the Chimera? What do we need?
It is very much like that. Like, okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go over there, and then the next thing you know, they're still with you, and you're like, I really wanted to go over here to be away from you over there.
But sure, this works too.
I say, I surely won't be called lazy about this later. I'm definitely helping her.
Yeah, Uzo. Yeah, so Uzo would feel some obligation to help.
Yeah, and the two of you are definitely not as tired as everyone else. So yeah, I mean, you guys. So Andraste, you go in. You see that they've so far kind of just pulled off a couple of barrels and crates. There's a lot more to go through that you will need to catalog and.
All right, I'm gonna find a clipboard and pen and ink and then like, let's do this.
Use your blood or mine, either or.
I'd
Uzo
really rather not use either.
Fair enough.
finds a smaller quarters below deck to kind of like put stuff in, as not like just like his I'll stay here. He finds a bucket, decanters some water in there, and then puts Bryn in it.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so we're going to wrap it up there. Come back in the morning with a fully stocked ship with a crew that's got at least one good night's sleep.
Just one.
And on a much nicer ship.
Yes.
Slightly.
Well, it's not sinking under them.
Oh, yeah.
Where we will head to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, yes. Ruckus is going to have a wet dream about this one.
Oh, God,
now we're demonetized.
Yeah, we're 3 hours in. It doesn't matter.
Wet is a normal word that can be used for anything.
I think, yeah, I mean, looking back, episode 21, 20 or 21 is when you left Waterdeep on your way to Baldur's Gate.
Oh, man.
I mean, yeah, I didn't want you to go there, obviously, right away, because that's.
No, we weren't leaving there to go to Baldur's Gate. We left to go into the forest because we were going up to Daggerford.
Well, but yeah, Daggerford is on the way to Baldur's. You were going to Baldur's Gate. You stopped off at Daggerford. You saw that there was stuff happening.
Easily distracted we are. By shiny things.
I'm okay with that.
Distracted because that's the progression that I wanted you guys to take.
Okay.
I mean, there was no way that there was no way we could handle Baldur's Gate when we were 5th level.
Yeah, I thought it was always funny when you guys are like, "We should go to Baldur's Gate." I'm like, "You're not going to Baldur's Gate."
Sorry, you will die horribly.
To keep you guys from going there.
We fast forward, skip to the end. All right.
Party 2 takes on their goal.
I mean, if we get to the end and we all die anyways, like we should have just got it. You should have just gone to Baldur's Gate in episode 5.
No, like I was legitimately thinking today because Thomas kept making threats about half the party dying. I was like, who in the hell would I create to take Andraste's place? Assuming this isn't just Thomas's sly way of getting me off the show.
No. That was my sly way of saying, don't split the party.
We did just fine, especially with your shitty dice.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was should have been a hard encounter, for you two. And I honestly, if I would have rolled better, it would have been a lot more tense. But the 30 doing average 36 at one go. Every time if you stay grappled, it's an automatic hit. So it's another just 36 points.
I'm really glad that I opted to break free then. That's what I would have been down in the next run.
The DC wasn't hard, but it's like you can't. A lot of people, I think, when they're playing and they're grappled, just want to keep fighting, right?
Sure.
They don't want to waste a whole action breaking free.
Yeah.
Where they could just be grabbed again the next turn.
Sure.
That's where
my thought process on that, because I was like, I can't run far enough. She has a 40 movement. I have a 35. I physically cannot run far enough, but I can get far enough away to maybe, because I knew Remy was going to drop down on her, maybe she'll focus on Remy and I can get some shots off from over here.
Yeah.
So it was. I thought it was an interesting thing, the hag. So the Banderhob is an interesting creature, when it swallows you, it also does continual damage.
Oh, it's like Rhea's frog thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that and why didn't it capture you? Oh, warding flare, right?
Yes. And
So-
well, no, it didn't capture me because it was closer to Remy the whole time.
Right. It didn't capture
And-
Remy because you did the warding flare that gave me disadvantage. Such a great feat. It'd be amazing if there was a card that had some similar feature like that.
It's almost it's almost as if Thomas is working on something that he's trying to hint at.
Yes. So anyway, so that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Chaos Agents. Thursday, we've got a show with Amy, with James Aaron O. I don't know why that came out so hard. With Maddie Bridges and Devin from Total Party Chill.
That's going to be such a great party.
Devin at 6 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Total Party Chill. He is running his Quizzes of the Coast. So you can actually win D&D prizes over on that channel from 6 to 7. And then he's going to come right from there into our show.
All right.
Is he going to raid with the Total Party Chill people?
So he will raid with Total Party Chill. There's going to be a ton of people here. You guys should all join us early because there's not going to be a lot of announcements. We're going to jump right into the Exalted Veils and that story that is happening. So tune in early, 7 p.m. Pacific. Actually, just go to Total Party Chill, watch them, and then you'll be brought over here automatically.
Yeah.
Magic.
Sounds like an excellent way to spend a Thursday night.
Does that mean they automatically do a giveaway?
Ooh.
Yes.
Technicality.
Yes, we will.
Got you.
Yes, we will right away. So
I'm
we're
so excited.
gonna do a giveaway right at the top of the show because of that.
There you go.
Thank you, Warren. You're welcome, audience. No worries.
Yeah.
I love you.
Oh God, he's the voice of the audience now. Kill it. Kill
He's
the
that-
stream.
He's that Barack Obama meme where he's giving himself an award.
I'd like to think, yeah, I got to work on my Barack. It's awful. It's much better. My present 45 is much better than my Barack Obama. Okay.
That's terrifying, friend.
Nailing it.
And on that note,
not good.
On
Not
that
good.
bombshell, as Jeremy Clarkson would say.
Clarkson, we end with Clarkson.
wow.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Clarkson would know.
Clarkson's from
The car
Yeah.
thing.
car show.
He's got his own controversy.
Yeah, he does.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Top.
Yeah. All
Sorry.
goodbye.
Let's.
Oh,
And then
copy.
Saturday we're back here. So Thursday, we'll see you Thursday.
Happy Cinco de Mayo. Adios, everybody.